Hello and welcome to another fantasy low light. We gave you a fantasy highlight yesterday talking about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Today is a fantasy low light. Darian's giving you the scariest face possible. We we are discussing Mr. Kyle Pitts today. 40 receptions, 536 yards, 3 touchdowns on the year. His past 6 performances in fantasy: 6.8 points, 2.4 points, a 0, 1.9 points, 9.5 points, and 2.1 points. This is a guy that has been in the conversation every single year. For the people that draft him, this is going to be the top tight end. This is going to be a top 5 tight end, top 3 tight end. Probably the year he should have had the most success was this year, and he's the tight end 14, only 40 receptions on the year, which is pretty low. What do you guys think about this? Darren, I'll go to you first.
It's been rough sledding for Kyle Pitts. Coming out of University of Florida, being told by the media, every scout, oh, this guy's the next top end tight end. His athleticism is unmatched. He's going to come in and take the league by storm. And we get a great rookie campaign. It was good. It's wonderful. And then sophomore year came. A lot to be desired. And then next year came. Same shit. It's depressing because you wanted to see him succeed, but he hasn't done anything. He hasn't scored since week 8 when they had the back and forth match against Tampa Bay. He put up, I think, 25 fantasy points. It was looking like brighter days, brighter than this goddamn candle that we got lit. But where you been? You disappear. You're gone. Even the organization brought in Kirko to be your savior, rejuvenate your career, make you seem like you're going to be in the heaven's gates. But here you are, trudging through the shit. Ain't doing nothing. Kyle Pitts, what are we doing? It's not the system. It's not the QB. It's you, my guy. And this is why you're this week's low light.
Yes. What about you, Nim?
I don't know
Do you
how
think
I'm gonna follow that, but yeah, I mean, coming from a fantasy owner that actually drafted Kyle Pitts, is a firm believer. Kirko loves his tight ends. Last year, T.J. Hawkinson went off. The year before, I don't know what happened the year before that, but he loves his tight ends. He's a firm believer. This is the quarterback that Kyle Pitts needed. We need, this is going to excel. He's never really had a quarterback, blah, 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 giving him all these excuses. But if you think about it, the last time he succeeded was with a quarterback named Kyle Trask, and that was in college.
Damn.
And so this is why he will never be drafted by me ever again in fantasy. I will never pick him up. I don't care how good he is. But due to his performance this year, and the year after that, and the year before that, and the year before that, you are on my do not draft list, Kyle Pitts.
maybe there are brighter days ahead with Michael Penix Jr., but man, it's looking low right now. On a count of 3, we will blow out this candle on this fantasy low light and Kyle Pitts. 3, 2, 1.
Brighten the day up a little bit.
All right. So, Kyle Pitts, man, just a generational fantasy bust, probably one of the biggest of all time. Year after year, really. Just a crazy amount of hype for you coming out of college. I saw there's actually an anonymous source in the NFL that says like he is not a player that wants to really play in the NFL. Like he just goes through the motions. He's not very like a good teammate. Like he's just kind of one of those guys that takes a paycheck and leaves. So
Oh, I could see that.
don't know who said that, but someone did say something like that. Let's
Some
get
sneak
into
peeks, bro.
yeah. Let's get into your guys' day. Nimmer, how are you doing today?
Doing good. No ants on the desk, so that's always good. But other than that, just been quiet day. We walked the dogs a little bit. Starting to get a little chilly out here in the bay.
Oh,
So
you're telling me.
yeah. But yeah, everything's good. This the holidays are just around the corner, so it's nice. Love this time of the year.
What about you, Darren? How are you?
Pretty good. Just a long day yesterday, and just excited to be back today. Today was pretty successful at work. Got a doc presented to a job out in California as soon as it basically opened for us. So that was pretty nice. So hopefully he can get booked, because that would look really nice for the days filled, and hopefully get me closer to a promotion, since it's all metric based. So
Nice.
so brighter days. We're happy
There you
for
go.
it.
Very good.
What about you, Drew?
Oh man, the week before, because where I work, we have from Christmas to New Year's off. So the week before that, even on my last job, like it's like you don't really know what to do, because you reach out to people, they're gonna be like, "It's the holidays, like leave me alone."
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's kind of a hard little part of the year, but just getting through it. Hopefully we can get to this break here soon. Hopefully the Chiefs start Patrick Mahomes and keep him in the whole game when I go and watch them, because I'm going to be really pissed if they sit him. That's going to make me really, really mad.
And TJ.
And TJ Watt. Yeah, that sucks. I hope TJ's out for this game and then plays, and I hope Mahomes is the true competitor that everyone says he is, and he plays,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's get into a little sequence for people that have been eliminated. This will be how to recover from your elimination. I want all of us to give a little piece of advice for the people, say me, say Darian, that are in this position that are not in the playoff. For me, it hurts a little more because I was just eliminated. So, Darian, what is your piece of advice for someone that was just eliminated from fantasy football playoffs? How do they recover?
A lot of liquor. No, it's a tough one to take on your chin, because you spent your whole entire season building this team. You had pride in it. You got to the playoffs, and then you stink in the first round, or someone just completely wets the bed, which would have set you over in the win total. Those small things, it hurts. It's gut wrenching. It's the hardest thing to deal with, especially first round playoffs. You lose, but just to deal with it, look at the players. Look at the stats for your players that you had, what they finished on the season, or as they finish on the season. So then you can start building your draft guide, your analysis of what to do next year, and go forth from there. I think you look at the rookies who excelled, who came in, put in great work, and have made a name in their systems for the respective teams. And then you got to look at this next draft class, who's the top in XYZ categories, whether that be running backs, wide receivers, where they go into in the draft this year, and so forth. So, really just take it to the chin, look at everyone else's teams who's over exceeding on what their ADP was originally, and build yourself a nice draft guide. Or wait for us, and we will have one built for you as fantasy rolls around next season.
Definitely. Nimmer, what about you?
Yeah, what I depending on how big of a competitor you are. I know all three of us are really really competitive. I feel like all 10 of us in our group in our fantasy are very very competitive, and I think the best word of advice is create like Excel if you don't have Windows, or if you don't have the Microsoft, then do Google Sheets, and just make a list of people of like your wide receivers and how you would rank them, and then would you draft them or would you not draft them and stuff like that. Do it right after the season, because while it's still fresh in your mind, because all of us when after the off season, all the media is like, oh, this player's gonna do really well, this player's gonna do really well, but then you look back at your notes from the previous season and you're like, I remember this player not doing well at all. Like, well, the whole Kyle Pitts thing. I mean, that's kind of what we were thinking. We're like, all right, well, um, Turco's there, and he's gonna change. It's gonna change. And then if you look back at your notes, I'm like, well, he didn't really do anything last year. Is he gonna be that big of a difference? Maybe I'll go with Njoku instead of Kyle Pitts, which for me, that's who kind of where I was teetering. Um, so obviously things will change in the offseason. Like T. Higgins probably isn't going to be a Bengal, so it's kind of hard to rank them. So it's not going to be a complete accurate list, but I feel like if you give yourself notes for the previous season, that will definitely help you into the next season. Plus, you can kind of vent, be like, screw Kyle Pitts or screw Cooper Cup. Don't ever draft him again. I feel like it's also a good way to kind of vent, and you can always look back and kind of start laughing at yourself.
Yeah, I would say think about your draft strategy that you had this past year. Were you close with what you did? Did you go wide receiver hero, and were you close to making the playoffs? If you went that way, maybe you think about drafting a running back in the first round and a receiver in the second round. Or if you went robust RB and you brought in a bunch of running backs, did that hurt you? Were you weak in the wide receiver area or the tight end area? Maybe think about that next year. Draft, maybe go with a similar style draft, a couple of running backs, but really start to pour in quality receivers, quarterbacks, tight ends after that, and not try to make every single pick a running back. Two, I would say think about all the biggest mistakes you made. That's what I've been doing for the past couple of days. The biggest mistakes I made this season, number one, I had Chuba Hubbard on my team and I dropped him after week one. Massive, massive mistake. You think about the running backs I could have had: James Cook, James Conner, Chuba Hubbard, and Jonathan Taylor before I traded him. Pretty solid group of running backs that I ended up dropping Chuba Hubbard, and he was obviously taken immediately, and then I never got him back. So something to think about, and think about how to be more aggressive the next year. Something that probably goes unspoken about in fantasy is like people in fantasy right now in the playoffs, Nimmer, including you. I would say a good tactic for someone that wants to win the championship: look at all the other teams right now, see where they're weak. If they have a defense and they're out there looking for a defense, take that defense even though you don't need it, so that they're stuck with, the Bengals defense, a terrible defense, So those would be some of the things I would say.
And also that you, like you said, kind of look back at your mistakes, or like, damn, I shouldn't have traded this player, or I should have done a little bit more trading, or that sort of thing too. Because the draft is one thing, like you can have a stellar draft, but then if you make 2 or 3 trades, like that can also jeopardize your team.
Mm.
So you kind of have to also look back and say, I shouldn't have made this trade. Don't dwell on it. I mean, there's no point in crying over spilled milk, right? So you should just kind of go into the next year, say, you know what, last year I did this trade, and I thought I was gonna get I saw the potential in the players, but then ended up biting me in the butt. So this next year I'm not gonna do that. So
Definitely. Fantasy predictions. So this is a little bit of like a sneak peek into the off season. I want to know who will get drafted based off, or who will get drafted too early next year based off of what they did this year. So there could be a bunch of candidates out there that are probably going to be drafted in the first 3 rounds that, you know, you could look at and make an argument for that they probably shouldn't be drafted there. Nimmer, who do you think?
So his was a little tough for me just because I don't really know who I'm even going to draft next year. But one person that I drafted this year who kind of had a decline, and actually looking at his numbers, I was surprised that he's the running back 8, and that's Kyron Williams. I think what?
That was mine. That's fine though. No, you're fine.
I'm so sorry.
I did. You're fine. You're fine.
Oh,
sorry.
I'm so sorry. No.
No, you're good. Keep going with Kyron. Keep going with Kyron. You're fine.
So we'll be on the same page for that one. But also another one I think is McLaurin. I think that nobody got him, right? Nobody's talking about him.
Darian ourselves. Yeah, I should have went to Darian first.
Yeah, go ahead, Darian.
No, you're good, bro. Finish. We'll just agree. Like, I mean, you're on the nose of where we thought. So give your analysis and we'll then go into it.
Should I do Brock Powers?
I mean, Darian kind of gave you a choice there, so.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to do McLaurin because I drafted him. I think that at the end of the season with McLaurin, he's currently the wide receiver 5, right? And I drafted him as my wide receiver 3. And yeah, he's put up a lot of good numbers, but then he also, like against Philly, he's had 1 catch for 2 yards. Like, it's pretty inconsistent when it comes to that sort of thing, and I think that he's going to go probably in the 2nd round. Maybe people are going to draft him as the wide receiver 1, and I can see him being a wide receiver 2 rather than a wide receiver 1. So I can see him getting drafted in the 2nd round, and he probably should fall down to the 3rd or 4th round.
Mm-hmm. Darian, what do you think?
In relation to that, or who?
If you want to comment on it, you could, or you could talk about Brock Powers since that was your pick.
You know, my assessment of McLaurin, honestly, he was, I'd say, probably like a round 5, round 6 guy this past year. In many other leagues outside of ours, and when Nimmer drafted him, my only fear is that people are going to see this year being, you know, wide receiver 5, getting a lot of targets by Jaden Daniels. But there's that controversy of Cliff Kingsbury potentially leaving and perhaps going to Chicago. You know, that's a looming thing. So if Cliff leaves, there's a whole new system that Jaden has to learn. And then, you know, with how Cliff runs his offense, I know he lines up the receivers onto what their dominant catching side is. So McLaurin's usually on the left-hand side getting tosses, or excuse me, yeah. I think he's usually on the left-hand side where he catches with his right hand up top, his dominant hand, to secure balls, just based on percentages. But if Cliff leaves, I think, one, it's going to be a new system. It's sophomore year where you see sophomore slumps in QBs and other rookies. So there's that going for him. So I'd be, you know, a little bit weary when it comes to McLaurin, seeing that him being top 10 finish this year. Temper the expectations. I still think he'd be around 5, round 6 guy next year, just with that aspect. Now, as opposed to Brock, now that same kind of mindset there is that sophomore slump. He's in a situation where he's had 2 QBs back and forth. And now, most likely in this draft, they're going to bring in a rookie QB. And you never know who they're going to get. They could get Carson Beck, Jalen Milrow. It's really left up to what happens before they get to draft. And if they end up with the lower end QB, he might be in a shittier situation than Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. Who knows? So there's so many variables, especially how early on it is right now having this conversation. I think people are going to see him being tight end one at this moment, seeing how many targets he gets, putting up 20, 30-point games. But you have a new QB in the system, maybe a new offensive coordinator, things change, usage gets changed. So I'd be a little wary on drafting him. What could be, around late round 1, early 2, or late round 2, early 3. So that's I would be wary on Brock. I'd still think him being around the same draft place as Trey McBride, Kittle, maybe Kelsey, but that's my analysis.
Jack is in the chat. He said, "I love the dramatic effect, Darian."
Oh, from the low light.
The low light, yeah.
Thank you, Jack. I didn't know we were all blowing out the candles together. It was my first low light, so I apologize for the premature blowage.
No, that was fine. That was fine. But blowage. I'm gonna go with Kyren Williams for this subject. I am a little worried about Kyren Williams heading into next year. You look at the first half of this year, you think, wow, like you aced with this draft pick. Then you look at the second half and you're like, oh, wow, that's a complete 180 of what we saw in the first half. His efficiency went way down. And if you watch the past couple Rams games, they're starting to incorporate Blake Corum more. I think next year you're probably going to see like a 70-30, maybe 75-25 snap share between Kyren Williams and Blake Corum to start the year. I think it may even increase later in the year. I am a little worried about drafting Kyren Williams, and I think there's probably going to be some people out there that draft him in the end of the first round, beginning of second round, just because he's Kyren Williams. So be careful about him next year. Fantasy MVP. Do this every week. We give you players we think that are going to score the highest. This past week, it was pretty random. Devontae Adams was the fantasy MVP. It's been kind of a random group of people every single week, so it's kind of hard to predict, but we will give you 3 guys we think have really good matchups and are poised for a breakout game. Nimmer, why don't you go first?
So this person literally saved. So this week, just to let the audience know, I'm playing Carlos. Carlos beat me last week because he had the Bills defense and he had Ja'Marr Chase. So I'm going to be playing Ja'Marr Chase again. Last time I played Ja'Marr Chase, he dropped a 50 bomb. He's playing against the Browns defense. They're playing against the Browns, and this is the first divisional game I think they had. Oh, I guess they had the Steeler game, but this is the first winnable divisional game that they have on Hard Knocks. So I think that has a little bit of firepower in it, as well as they still need to win. And if they need to win against division opponents, especially with the Browns going 1-1 with the Ravens and the Steelers. Oh no, they swept the Ravens, right? I think.
Who? The Browns?
The Browns? Didn't they sweep them? No.
No, I think they've only played one game, right?
Yeah, Ravens won.
No, the Browns beat the Ravens.
The Browns won the last time, but I don't think they did. Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I don't think they played a second time yet. Yeah.
I see. Okay, my mistake. So, I mean, you need these divisional wins. Every win is important, but especially the divisional games, especially when you're looking into playoffs. So I think that Chase is I think the second best offensive player of the year. So I think that he's gonna pop off this week.
Darren, who's your fantasy MVP?
Yeah, my guy, another wide receiver, and he's a rookie, and he's coming off 3 straight weeks of double-digit targets, and that's my guy, Brian Thomas Jr. He in week 13 against Houston had 10 receptions, 76 yards, and a TD. The week after was Tennessee, 8 receptions, 12 targets, 86 yards. And then last week, bombed out against the Jets, 10 receptions, 14 targets, 105 yards, and 2 TDs. They're playing Vegas this upcoming week, who's got a decimated defense. Secondary is not where it needs to be competitive in that regard. They are ranked ninth, but I'm saying this: Brian Thomas with the Mac Jones combination is going to be unmatched. I think he continues with the double-digit targets. I think he's going to get 12 on eight to 10 receptions, and I think he is going to score at least 2 TDs, and there are going to be some long bomb plays. So I like Brian Thomas Jr. as my fantasy MVP this week.
By the way, Darian had a take on Mac Jones. He said that if Mac Jones starts for the rest of the season for the Jags, that they would have a chance to win a good stretch of games. They've won their past two, I believe, and I like them in their current matchup that they have this week against who are they playing? The Raiders? I think?
Raiders, yeah.
I like
it
them
was
in
a close
that
game
matchup.
against the Jets.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I guess they lost.
yeah, they lost. OT.
Yeah. But they won the game before that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a close game against the Jets, and I like them this week against the Raiders. So that was a pretty decent take.
Happy days, baby. Mac Jones back in Jacksonville. That's what he wanted. That's what his dream was, and he's going to lead them to at least, I say, 5 wins to end the season.
Can't say the same thing about your Kirk Cousins winning the most fantasy championships, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I just can't talk shit about the Falcons because when I do, they prove me wrong. So if I talk good too, they just say, oh, fuck it, we're going to do the opposite. So talk hella shit on Drake London. At one point in the season, he was wide receiver 5. And then I say Kirk Cousins is going to bring you championships, gets benched for Michael Penix. So, and goes on a stretch of 1 touchdown to 9 interceptions. So that literally was the week I said that. It started that.
That's true.
And for my fantasy MVP, I've got Mike Evans, and this was my league winner for wide receivers. I thought that Mike Evans would start to pop here. He had probably his biggest game of the season last week with 36, I think, points.
Mm-hmm.
I like his matchup this week against Dallas. Trayvon Diggs is out, so Deron Bland is still in, but I still like that matchup. They're playing with a backup quarterback. They just came off a pretty lopsided win against the Chargers. Their offense is firing in all cylinders. Mike Evans is from Texas. He always likes to ball out in Texas. I saw something on Instagram that said he's like 250 yards, 18 receptions, and maybe 3 touchdowns or something like that away from $3 million in an incentive. So he's going to want to go get the bag. I really like Mike Evans this week.
And Baker's going to be peppering him, which kind of sucks for us Otten fantasy owners. So
Yeah.
I have to say that my honorable mention is also Jahmyr Gibbs. I think the Montgomery injury is really going to elevate his potential. And then he's playing Chicago, who is ranked 28th against running backs. So that's my honorable mention.
Let's be honest, it's been hella random with who's been. So, honorable mention, Adam Thielen, baby. Panthers against Arizona, about to pop off for 40 points. Calling it now.
Yeah, my honorable mention will be Marvin Mims.
Hell yeah, his breakout.
But yeah, that's our fantasy MVP. Why don't we do the against the spread now? So you guys kind of caught up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got too cute last week
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what
because
happens.
we were tied, and then I was like, all right, Jaguars are gonna win, and I kept up the shtick. It was close, but
It was close.
yeah, rough
But
sledding.
we'll start with the Thursday night game. This game, man, my neighbors are going to be tired of me because I'm going to be screaming all night. Um, the Broncos at the Chargers. Chargers are favored by 2.5 points. This is in SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Um, Broncos are 9-5. Chargers are 8-6,
Mm-hmm.
I think. Yeah, 8-6. They both kind of need this. Broncos have a pretty good path to the playoffs right now. The Chargers would like to win this game for their path to be a pretty good path to get in the playoffs. But I would say they kind of both need this right now. If the playoffs started today, the Broncos would play the Steelers. So that would be interesting. Let's see. And that'll be Russ. Russ versus the Broncos, which was what I wanted earlier this year.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. Who do you got covering here, Nimmer? I'll start with you.
So I said I think one of my hot takes was that the Chargers are going to miss the playoffs, and I still think so. So give me the Broncos.
Darren, who do you think covers?
Man, I hope it's not a continued trend of shitty Thursday night games. And excuse me for the language. I missed Rage Cage if you did it yesterday. I'm just letting it all out. Uh, but no, if it's a bad Thursday night, it's going to be a weird toss-up game. The Chargers are just coming off a really bad game, getting the brakes beat off them by the Bucks. I think that's still looming overhead on a short week. I like the Broncos. Give me Baby Bo in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Broncos have been playing well, but you see the way Bo played in the last game with 3 interceptions, 3 pretty bad interceptions. You would think I'm going to pick the Chargers here, but I'm going to go with the Broncos. I think the last time they played, I liked the Chargers game plan. They came out with a bunch of like jet sweeps that really confused the Broncos defense, but they kind of started creep in at the end. I think maybe the Broncos have got some more tape on them and they're feeling pretty good about this matchup. So I'll go with the Broncos. The Texans at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Texans are favored by 1.5 points. I think this was before the
Yeah.
Mahomes.
So
Mhm.
now the line is Chiefs are favored by 3.5.
Okay. Well, on ESPN, this pick'em, it's still Chiefs
Mm-hmm.
1.5. Or well, I guess the Houston favored by 1.5. But the public line now is at 3.5 Chiefs. That makes more sense. So, Nimmer, who do you have covering here?
You know, the Chiefs have come across barely beating bad teams. And I'm not saying that the Texans are a great team, but I think they're good enough to beat the Chiefs. So give me the Texans. And they're well coached. So
What do you think, Darian?
I just keep thinking about the one score wins that the Chiefs have been rattling off, and I just fear that that's going to happen again. So I have the Kansas City Chiefs covering here.
Yeah, originally I think I had the Texans, but I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs now that I know that Mahomes is fully participating in practice. So, drag that D, baby.
Yeah, come join me.
We've got the Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are favored by 5.5 points. We all know this rivalry. They just played a couple weeks ago. Steelers won. It was a very close game. Nimmer, who do you think covers here?
I have to admit, I can't wait for the Hard Knocks because with Patrick Queen coming back to Baltimore, that's going to be, I really hope they kind of highlight that. And my brother's a Ravens fan, so we're gonna go to the bar and try to watch this game. just talking shit crap to each other. But give me the Steelers. The Ravens historically haven't done good against the Steelers, but it is in Baltimore. In the beginning of the year, I said that the Ravens would go 1-1, so I'm not too confident in this game, but still gotta go with my team.
Darren, who do you have covering?
Yeah, I'm on the same train of thought as Nimmer. It's the AFC North. These are big battles. They're going toe to toe, and it should be a close game. So I think Pittsburgh can keep it close. So I'm going to go with the Steelers covering.
Yeah, I've got the Steelers covering here too. I think this is a good bet to bet on. Take the points for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think 5.5 is just too much. I'm going to say Steelers keep it close by kicking all field goals.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. There's just no consistency in our team. It's just so upsetting.
Yeah. But it looks like George Pickens is going to be back.
I hope so. Good. Our offense did not look good without him, and that's why we needed another receiver. Honestly, that's why when we started getting the rumors, Ayuk, just all of the other receivers that could have came to the Steelers, I was excited because if George Pickens gets hurt, then at least we got another receiver. But yeah, we'll see. We haven't really been completely healthy. You said what?
It said Mike Williams. Oh, has he even done anything since his touchdown against the Commanders?
Nope.
No.
Really. He's had a couple of catches, but
not important ones.
Mike Dubs. The Browns at the Bengals. Bengals are favored by 6.5 points. Darren, who do you have covering here?
I got the Bengals in this one. Just going against terrible defenses or bad defenses, they look pretty good. They look sharp. Just got to mitigate the whole penalty issues, false starts, holdings, all that. They should have a pretty good game.
Maybe don't fumble an interception on the one.
Yeah.
Nimmer, who do you got?
I have the Bengals too. I think that Jamar and Joe are gonna pop off, and I think especially with what's his name sitting out, Jameson Winston. I think that's gonna be a big. I love him, so I would want him to start, but I think that's gonna be a big downfall for the Browns.
I kind of like DTR in a way. I don't know how good he is really, but there's been some plays where I watch him play and I'm like, okay, he's working with something. But I'm going to take the Bengals. They need this win. I think they can win by a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Giants at the Falcons. Michael Penix Jr., his first start against the New York Giants. Not a terrible matchup, really. I don't know what they're planning to do at the quarterback position. I think they're still trying to get Drew Lock healthy, and if he's not healthy, I think it's what's his name? The guy that just came in there the last week. I can't remember his name, but he's been a backup forever, third string guy. So the Falcons are favored by 9.5 points. I think this was a line made before the move with Penix. But Nimmer, who do you have covering here?
Yeah, and it hasn't really shifted that much. Now it's at least on FanDuel. It's 7.5. The Falcons are favored, so it didn't go down too much, which I thought it would be at least 5.5. But we've been talking a lot of crap about the Falcons and all that, so I think it's gonna bite us in the butt, and so give me the Falcons for this one.
It's not a bad take. I'm not saying anything negative about the Falcons. What I'll say is that the Giants' defense has been seen in this season to compete, and I think this is the matchup where they compete, especially going against a rookie QB. And 9.5 points is a lot of points, especially for this Falcons offense. Not talking shit. Last couple of weeks haven't really been able to do much. So with that, I got the Giants covering. I think they lose by a touchdown. But if it's the line changes to that 7.5, then I'm still sticking with the Giants.
Yeah. I'm taking the Giants too. I think I'm definitely going to watch this game because I'd like to see how Penix does. I don't think he's going to do very well. I think he's going to struggle. So I think this game will be a lot closer than 9.5 points. Lions at the Bears, or the Lions are only favored by 6.5 points. They're dealing with a ton of injuries right now. I'm kind of surprised by that line still, though. Nimmer, who do you have covering here?
Yeah, I mean the line is still on FanDuel 6.5. So, although the Lions are ridiculed with injuries, I still think that they're a way better team than the Bears. I think the Bears are a complete dumpster fire, and I think MCDC will definitely get them in check for the Bears.
Darren, who do you have?
Yeah, I mean, to what you mentioned, the Lions have, I think, 16 players that are actively injured on their defense alone or even an IR. So they are just porous with injuries and folks stepping up. I think the offense is where it's healthiest. Mind you, obviously Montgomery is out now. I still think they cover the touchdown spread. The last game they played Thanksgiving Day, I think just the whole coaching aspect was their downfall and what made them basically only win by 3. But I think this time around they're going to have Chicago's number and it'll be by a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions too. I think I don't care who's injured on the Lions. Like, this Bears team's really bad. So
yeah.
Even though I thought they were going to upset the Niners a couple weeks ago, I've completely changed my tune. I think they're a terrible team. Titans at the Colts. The Colts are favored by 4.5 points. Anthony Richardson versus Mason Rudolph. So this will be exciting.
That alone gives you your answer.
I'm surprised it's not a primetime game.
It should be Monday night, to be honest.
Exactly.
Never heard you have covering here.
I have the Colts. Titans they need a lot.
What do you got, Darren?
I'm right there with Nim. The Colts. They're just gonna whomp the Titans.
I'm gonna take the Colts, but random anytime touchdown. Give me Chig Okonkwo.
He stepped up last week. He looked pretty good.
I bet you win some good money if he scores a touchdown. Rams at the Jets. The Rams are favored by 3.5 points. 78% of the public is on the Rams. Just goes to show you how bad this 4-10 Jets team is. Have you guys seen that little back and forth going between Ryan Clark and Aaron Rodgers right now?
No, but I
saw
need
something
to.
on like the Pat McAfee show that he like indirectly said something, but
Ryan Clark responded.
Ooh.
Saying what? What did he say?
He's said some of the things that I've said. So I was like, yeah, there's someone else that feels this way about this guy. You should look it up. It was good.
I remember somebody was like something about like Aaron Rodgers' demeanor. He's like, oh, he looks sad, and he's like, what is he sad about? You literally come into this organization giving all these Jet fans hope, and what happens? You completely, derailed their chances of ever making the playoffs. What do you have to be sad about? I was like, damn.
Yeah, I just want to know why we keep giving this guy a platform, Like, I know Pat McAfee is his best friend, but, like, if Will Levis had his own talk show, we would all be bagging on him right now.
Yeah.
But we just let it slide with Mr. Unvaccinated. So, Mr. Immunized, as I should say. Eddie's got a documentary out right now. I'm sure it's riveting.
Yeah, are you gonna watch it?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch every single second of it.
Waste your precious moments on it.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely want to put myself through that. Rams, Rams, favored by 3.5. Gary, who do you got covering here?
Yeah, I just like the Rams better. They're a little bit more of a cohesive team. And as you mentioned, the Jets are the Jets. So
Number, who do you got covering?
Yeah, I think that this is a must-win for the Rams if they want any type of playoff chances. So give me the Rams. I think now that their offense is fully healed, they're just a better team.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams. I'm going to say bounce back game for Cooper Kupp, and Matt Stafford tears that defense up. Eagles at Commanders. Eagles are favored by 3.5 points. They played just a couple weeks back, and it wasn't necessarily close. Darian, who do you have covering here?
yeah, I think it's going to be the same thing as the last time they played. I think it was an 8-point game. I think that's really realistic in what's going to happen in this one. So I think the Eagles cover. They'll probably win by a touchdown, max 10 points.
Number, who do you have covering?
I agree. I think that the Eagles are I think they're the best team in the NFC with all the Lions injuries. So give me the Eagles.
Yeah, they're rolling right now. I'm taking the Eagles. By the way, Noah Trotter, he's kind of called you. He kind of called you and Nate out on Instagram. I don't know if you saw that.
Me?
Me or Nimmer?
Nimmer.
Oh, nice. I
Said
dodged a
what?
bullet.
He said some of you Steelers fans, ones that watch my stories, my friends, you guys didn't talk to me. Y'all been really quiet about this past game.
Ooh.
Okay. How many rings do the Eagles have? Do you know? Okay,
That's a
no.
good question.
Yeah.
We get him on the phone right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well put
I'll
them
say
on
the
the phone.
exact same thing. Be like, how many rings do you guys have? Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, we might get demonetized, though.
Yeah.
With how much shit he'll probably say.
No. I didn't even see that. That's so funny.
Yeah, you should take a look.
Is it still up?
I'm definitely gonna message him now after the show. Be like, hey,
It's not like he added anybody, but that's what I was thinking of when I saw it. I was like, it must be Nate, it must be Nim that
did
he's
he
talking
put it
about.
on the story, or he commented on the DVD?
No, it's on his story. Let me look it up right now.
No.
What's his name? It used to be something else. That's what
It's Ice of Rugby now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It says some of y'all didn't text me during or after this game, but watch my story. LOL. I know who you are. They put it. Then he put in quotes, the AFC North is the toughest division in the NFL. Then he said, my friends who are Steelers fans, you know who you are. Don't get loud during the playoffs, LOL, because you weren't loud when we showed mercy.
Okay.
And then he put the show's mercy with the taking the knee. Golly.
Wait, what's his? I can't find his profile. What's it? IC Rugby?
ICEF. ICEFRUGBY. He's gonna put this on his story, by the way, now that we're talking about
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How many rings do y'all have?
He's probably gonna give you a little voice message.
Yep.
You'll have to play that on the mic.
I will. How many rings do y'all have? How many consecutive winning seasons do y'all have?
Cardinals at the Panthers. Arizona is favored by 3.5 points. Darren, who do you got covering here?
I like the Cardinals in this. Actually, part of me wants to be cheeky and pick the Panthers now because they've been playing some decent ball.
That's hurt you before.
I've done it, and it also helped me against the Eagles.
Oh, that's true. That's true. They did cover that time.
I'm gonna stick with my Cardinals. I'll stick. They'll win by 6 points. Nah, fuck all that. Give me the Panthers. Switch it up.
Oh, man, he couldn't resist it. You got a love for the Panthers, dude.
I don't know what it is. Jalen Coker, maybe. I don't know, but they've been playing some weird close ball.
It's true. Bryce looks good all of a sudden.
He looks sharp.
Yeah, it's cool to see. I hope he continues. I hope they give him another chance. I hope they don't just let him go. That would suck.
That would suck.
Nimmer, who do you have covered here?
Give me the Cards. I think they're still a better team. I feel like the offense is gonna tear up the Panthers defense. At least I hope so.
Yeah, give me the Cardinals. Two very weird teams, I think, to bet on. So it's kind of a scary matchup, but I'll take the Cardinals. The Vikings at the Seahawks. Vikings are favored by 2.5 points here. Geno is a full participant today at practice and looks like he will be playing in this game with a knee injury. But Nimmer, who do you have covered here?
Did the Vikings beat the Packers? Do you know?
Yes.
Like weeks ago, yeah.
So if the Vikings beat the Packers and the Packers completely blew out the Seahawks, I think that the Vikings are going to blow out the Seahawks.
Wow. Darren, what do you think?
I'm there with Nimmer. We'll just call it a Aaron Jones hymn game. He's going to go off, and I think it'll be the same kind of outcome. Be like 30-16.
I do feel like this should be a spread, like an 8.5 point spread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
So maybe take the Vikings this weekend for the points. I'm taking the Vikings as well. The Buffalo Bills at home versus the Patriots. They are favored by 13.5 points. So quite a few points there, but the Patriots have kind of been on a backslide as of late. Nimmer, who do you think covers here?
Yeah, the Bills just completely destroy the Patriots.
Darren, who do you think?
Yeah, I gotta agree. The Bills look good. They look sharp. They carry this momentum.
I'm taking the Bills too. Sorry, Logan, if you're watching.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
But you already know. You already know.
Yeah, the Bills are the best team in the AFC right now. So
Bills might just not even try and put up 40 points on you guys, Jaguars at the Raiders. The Jaguars are favored by 0.5 point, so this is a pick'em game. Darren, who do you have covering here?
You know where my fealty lies. You know where it lies. Mac Jones, baby, in the Jack Sack. Let's get it.
Jack Sack. Never who do you got covered here?
Give me the Raiders.
Ooh.
I have a weird feeling that the Raiders are going to kind of bounce back.
I'm taking the Jaguars. After watching Desmond Ridder struggle to throw the ball more than 8 yards, I'm not picking the Raiders. So, the San Francisco 49ers going up against the Dolphins. Both teams are 6-8. They both really need this game if they want to make it into the playoffs. Darren, who do you have covering here?
Going with the guy who's deciding to go coach. Give me Tyreek and the Dolphins.
Is he coaching? Is that what it was?
Who knows? But that's what we'll interpret. Unless he wants to get released
Traded.
after the season.
I was wondering what that trade or what that tweet meant.
Yeah, I read the article and everything, and I still don't know what that means. So, but give me the Dolphins. I think that they're just a better team than the 49ers right now.
I'm going to take the Niners. I feel like I've been hoodwinked by the Niners all season, but I'm going to continue to go with the Niners. Man, by the way, did you see that play by Stingley last week against the Dolphins? Where he reached up with one hand and took it right away
the
from
interception?
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
filthy.
That was a nasty play. Stingley's starting to come along here.
I love Stingley.
I do too. I think he's a highly underrated corner in this league.
Is he better than Sauce?
Possibly.
I'm beginning to think that he was the better pick.
I think there's an argument that
he is.
Yeah. He looks good. I liked him coming out of LSU. I thought he was going to be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But the Buccaneers going up against the Cowboys, we kind of talked about this game a little bit. Buccaneers are favored by 3.5 points. 80% of the public is on the Buccaneers. Cooper Rush versus Baker Mayfield. I think we all know where we're going here.
Sure as hell we do. Give me
Might as well just
Baker.
reveal them all at
All
the same
three,
time.
Yeah.
Saints, Packers. Yeah, I'm going Packers all day. What about you guys?
Yeah.
13.5 points is a lot, but I think they probably will cover that.
Yeah. I think if you look at the Saints against Commanders, just the Commanders defense just gives up a ton and costly situations. The offense sputters out and they just like to make things close. Packers defense is 1,000 times better than the Commanders defense. So I think they can handle that easy. Plus what? Kamara's questionable, right, too?
Is he? I don't know.
I think so, but I think he's still going to play.
Yeah.
He's been battling with injuries all year.
So looking at this slate, I was just thinking about this. What games are you guys excited to watch?
I like the Broncos Chargers. I like the Steelers Ravens. And that's about it.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah, Broncos, Chargers. You know what he did?
Yeah, he did. You guys want to hear what he said?
Yeah, that's it.
He said, "How many Super Bowls have you witnessed? How many times have you told me we're gonna tap that ass and get clapped?" Which I don't know what that. I have never said that. But please tell me if you. Please tell me if you beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Keep me posted. I said, okay.
He didn't either. What is he talking about?
No, the Eagles beat the.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it. That's funny. So that equates to 8 rings.
We've won 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime, so I don't know.
I just feel like that's not a good argument to say if we can beat Tom Brady, you're in the AFC.
Cowboy talk right now or the past decade.
Is that what you're saying to him?
No, he said, if anything, don't sound like a typical cowboy. Talk about right now or the past decade.
Kind of got you there. I'll give him a zinger there.
Fair enough.
I think we could go with the winning seasons.
I was going to say.
No, you definitely got him with the consecutive winning seasons. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I say you drop a rap about him right now. Rap this.
No, I love Noah. Record this.
We all love Noah.
We all do, yeah.
I can't wait to see this on your story.
Tags the thing.
Yeah, it's coming.
Do we got any locks for the week, Nim?
No, I think that if you let me pull up the MVP, I think that all three of these guys, if you put any time touchdown for all three of them, I feel like that's a lock right there.
And
So,
throwing Adam Thielen.
and what would you say, Drew? Who did you say?
Don't put Chig Okonkwo on that one.
Jacob
That
Conquo.
could be our long shot. That would be the long shot play.
I think you make a separate parlay, just have anytime touchdown Chig Okonkwo by itself and see what
Yeah.
you win.
No, yeah. So that essentially would be my anytime touchdown. Looking at the, oops, not that one. Sorry. Oh my god, this one. Sorry, too many buttons for me to press. For looking at the over under, I can definitely see the Chiefs and Texans being an under. And honestly, the Broncos and Chargers, I can definitely see being an under. And Jags and Raiders. Those are my three unders. So those are
Jags,
my locks
Raiders,
for the week.
That's got to be a pretty low line for Jags and Raiders, you would think.
I don't think it's that low of a line though. If you
40 and a half.
Yeah. I
That's
don't
not
think
bad.
that each team's gonna score 20 points.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Why don't we end on the one-word game?
Let's get it.
Okay. Oh, I need to do that. Sorry. Do you want to? All right. So you replied because I said, "What's your record this decade?" And he's like, "I've experienced one Super Bowl win and one Super Bowl where our quarterback outperformed the GOAT. We won one Super Bowl out of the two times we went in the past 10 years. Last time we went in the early 2000s, we lost to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl."
Okay. And your thoughts, Nim?
I was still gonna say I experienced 3 Super Bowls in my lifetime. 2 we won, and 1 we lost to Aaron Rodgers. So
Yeah.
I ain't saying shit because I haven't even graced the Super Bowl,
I was gonna say,
let alone
you
the
can't
second
really,
round of the
you know,
playoffs.
it'd be kind of hard for you. You guys haven't made the playoffs in like 8 years.
Hey, I've witnessed one Super Bowl.
I was there with you at that Super Bowl watch party, and I was talking shit to you, and then went quiet. Was like, yeah, let me shut up.
you and I were at the Patriots Falcons watch party.
Yeah, and at Vaughn's.
Yeah.
Weren't you
And
guys there?
I was there, yeah.
Yeah.
You were there too, I'm pretty sure, Darian.
The Patriots one where they won in overtime.
Yeah.
I was at home.
Oh, you weren't there?
Mm-mm. We were at Vaughn's for Panthers Broncos.
Were we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I remember Jordan, Ralph, and all them like going crazy too with you.
I swear I watched that game somewhere else, but maybe you guys are right.
I feel like I've watched a lot of like championship games with you, and like it was when the Cubs won the World Series. I think we were at Dave and Buster's, and then what was it?
The college championship,
Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah.
Yeah, we were at somebody's birthday or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very interesting how many championship games I've watched with you.
Hey, man, that's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
If the championship game's on, if the championship game's on, I'm definitely watching it. If you're with me, you're definitely watching it too. But let's do the one-word game. We did this 2 weeks ago. We will all give one word in response to a name. This will be in reference to either them as a person or them in their fantasy season. We will start with one name. Nimmer, I'll start with you. T. Higgins.
Overshadowed.
What do you think, Darren? That's a good one.
Hmm. Damn, I like that word, man. That was actually like really, really good.
The Noah juices, the shit talking, just got all my brain, my brain juices going.
hmm. Stud. I mean, just easy as that, stud.
Yeah. Exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait to
Next,
see what happens to him next year.
Yeah, he's
same.
going to be a good wide receiver one somewhere or another pair, but
Yeah, I hope he goes to a favorable situation. I hope he doesn't go to like a bad team.
Yeah, I think he should go to the Chargers. That would be my number one choice if I was him.
mhm.
But I think he's gonna land in the Patriots.
Yeah,
If I had to
that's
bet,
kind of what I'm. That's kind of what I'm feeling. They're gonna pay him a lot,
exactly.
so that makes a lot of sense.
But the way that Drake May's been playing, I mean, it's not a bad
Yeah.
option.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next name, Darren. I'll start with you. Tajay Spears.
Mm. Yeah. Missing.
I love that. What do you got, Nimmer?
I would say disappointing.
Yeah, I would say lackluster.
Pains me.
Nimmer. Next name. AJ Brown.
Diva.
Mm.
All right, Drew, you go before me because
I'm gonna say needed.
Needed.
Yeah.
backbone.
I think the Eagles need him. That's why I'm saying that. I think if they're gonna win a championship, they need AJ Brown to perform well.
Definitely.
Because you can't just have Saquon doing all the work.
No, I agree. And the reason I said diva is because I feel like with like if you're winning, there should be no drama. Like,
Mhm.
okay, you're not getting the carries, but you're winning. Like, what's your end goal? Is your end goal to get 100 catches, 1,000 yards, and whatnot? That's fine. But then if your true objective is to win, then it doesn't matter who gets the ball. You're not getting the ball, you know. So I guess maybe not diva, but I should say needy. I would say needy is a better word for me.
I mean, you were talking about it with Mike Evans's bonus. I mean, there's bonuses on the line for AJ.
Yeah.
He's not getting the ball. I mean,
But you know what the bonus to go to the Super Bowl is? I guarantee it's a lot more than whatever his bonus is to get whatever 100 catches or whatnot.
but to get it both in one season, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but what is your goal? You know, like it depends if he's close or not. If he's close, then I get it. But then if you're not that close, then why? I don't know.
Family first, baby. You gotta pay. You gotta get paid. Take care of them.
You win a Super
You
Bowl,
get that by your
you know how
production.
much money they make after winning a playoff game, let alone a Super Bowl? They get paid way more in that, not including the endorsements that you're gonna get. You pop off on the Super Bowl. I don't think he was on the team when they played the Chiefs, huh? Was he?
No.
Yeah. So this is his
Wait.
first Super
Yeah, he
Bowl.
was. He
Yeah,
caught
he
a
was.
touchdown in the game.
Oh,
Yeah, he was. He was. He was.
so I don't know.
That was his first year, I think, or second year.
Mm.
Mm.
I thought it was funny how Jalen Hurts said, "So that's what y'all wanted to see, huh?"
Yeah, I know. I like
Yes,
that
it
part.
was. Thank you, Jalen, for throwing the fucking ball.
I was like, no, I was like, that's not what we wanted to see. That's what AJ wanted to see. So taking it with him.
Yeah,
As an
that's
AJ
what
owner, yes, that's exactly what I wanted to see. 20 freaking fantasy points.
and I sat him too in my other league.
Next name. Let's not be too insensitive here. Darian. David Montgomery.
Pain. It simple as that. Pain. Mm.
Um, I really, honestly, the one word is Knuckles because I just watched Sonic for the first time. I watched 1 and 2, and 2 is when
Yeah.
Knuckles came out, and I feel like Montgomery is Knuckles. Like he's hard hitting. He, always seems like he's angry when he's running the ball, which is really cool. Seems like a cool person. It's nice because he actually like found a good fit. So in that team.
Yeah, mine will be love for David Montgomery. I love David Montgomery. I love the way he plays.
Yeah.
Pain. And that's what pains me,
Yeah.
just to see him go
Yeah.
out for the season.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that where did he get? He got drafted by the Bears, right?
Yeah.
I believe
And
so.
then he went to the Lions.
Mhm.
So this is his second team. I thought he was bouncing back, like bouncing around in teams, but must be mistaken.
He was undervalued in Chicago. I feel like
Everybody
they
was.
shouldn't have let him go.
I saw this stat. Speaking of Chicago, Justin Fields has won more games than Caleb Williams with less talent around him.
That's another guy. Like if Caleb Williams had his own talk show, we'd be like, bro, shut up.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's doing it and he doesn't have a talk show, and we were like, bro. Especially when he was just like, do you see that one, whatever TikTok or video or he was just like on the bench. I'm like, bro, sit up and watch the game. Like, you're acting like you're a vet. You haven't proved shit. I don't like him at all. I really don't.
And that'll bring me to the next name. Nimmer? Aaron Rodgers.
Old.
Dan, what do you got?
Just vile.
True.
Bitch.
Yeah.
That was a pretty easy one to see coming.
Yeah.
And that's how we will leave you guys with some holiday spirit. Just so everyone is aware, we are going to be off for the next 2 weeks. We got Christmas Eve, Christmas Day on Tuesday, Wednesday. We have New Year's Eve, New Year's Day on Tuesday, Wednesday. So we will be off for the next 2 weeks. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope my cast members enjoy it here. Everyone enjoy your holidays. Anything you guys want to say before we get out of here, Nim?
Just want to wish everybody happy holidays. We'll see you guys next year, and just remember to take this opportunity to love your loved ones. They're only here a certain amount of days, so enjoy these holidays with them. Even if you can't, still call them and just show them that you love them. Enjoy the holidays.
Damn straight.
Darren.
Yeah, just some shout outs for Terry. His birthday was earlier believe this week. My brother's birthday was earlier. So share love to your Sagittarius gang. We love them so much. But outside of that, as Nimmer said, happy holidays to everybody. Take this time, be around loved ones, get those presents in. If you procrastinated like I did, get the shopping done this weekend. Wrap as fast as you can. It's all about the thought, remember. But loving each and every one of you, and we will see you in the new year.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for watching.